Studies show that even the smartest people make the same predictable mistakes over and over again. Your brain is literally working against you, and you have no idea it's happening. So what's the one thing your mind does that destroys your judgment before you even realize it? Fact 1. Confirmation bias. This is when your brain actively searches for information that supports what you already believe and ignores evidence that contradicts it. Psychologist Peter Wason first documented this in 1960 with his famous card experiment. You're not even aware you're doing it, your brain filters reality to feel right. This matters because it traps you in bubbles. Your politics, your career choices, even your relationships get locked in by the evidence you choose to see. Fact 2. Dunning-Kruger effect. Named after psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger in 1999, this is the brutal truth. People with low ability overestimate their competence, while experts often underestimate theirs. The less you know, the more confident you feel. It's why beginners think they're geniuses and skilled people doubt themselves. This explains why incompetent people are often the loudest in the room and why you second-guess yourself even when you're actually good at something. Fact 3. Availability heuristic. Coined by psychologists Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman in 1973, this bias makes you overweight information that comes to mind easily. Plane crashes feel more dangerous than car accidents because they're memorable, even though statistically you're safer in the air. Your brain uses ease of recall as a shortcut for truth. This shapeshifts your risk assessment, your buying decisions, and your fears, making you worry about unlikely threats while ignoring everyday ones. Fact 4. Anchoring bias. When you first encounter a number or piece of information, it anchors your thinking for everything that follows, even when you know it's irrelevant. Kahneman and Tversky demonstrated this in the 1970s. People estimate a random number before answering a question, and that random number shifts their answer. Salesmen exploit this constantly. It affects your salary negotiations, your shopping habits, and how you value your own work. That first price you hear haunts every decision after. Fact 5. Sunk cost fallacy. This is when you keep investing time, money, or effort into something bad because you've already put resources into it even though those costs are gone forever. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler helped popularize this concept. You stay in a terrible relationship because you've been together for 5 years. You finish a bad movie because you bought the ticket. Your past investments should be irrelevant to your future decisions, but your brain treats them like a reason to continue suffering. Fact 6. Recency bias. Your brain weights recent events far more heavily than older ones, making the latest news feel more important and true than patterns from months ago. This is why a bad day at work can erase weeks of good performance in your mind, and why market crashes feel apocalyptic when the long-term trend is up. Your memory isn't filing information chronologically, it's stacking recent stuff on top. This destroys your ability to see true patterns and make rational long-term decisions. Fact 7. In-group bias. You automatically favor people who share your identity, your team, your country, your culture, and judge them more generously than outsiders. Social psychologist Henri Tajfel demonstrated this in the 1970s using arbitrary group assignments and found bias erupted instantly. It's tribal, it's automatic, and it happens before conscious thought. This bias fuels prejudice, workplace politics, and polarization. It makes you defend your group's flaws while exaggerating outsiders' mistakes. Fact 8. Backfire effect. When confronted with evidence that contradicts your beliefs, sometimes you believe the opposite even more strongly. Researchers have observed this pattern in misinformation studies, where corrections can paradoxically deepen false convictions. Your ego doesn't want to admit you're wrong, so your brain digs in harder. This explains political arguments that end badly and why debunking myths sometimes doesn't work. Correction can feel like an attack, triggering defensive thinking. Fact 9. Illusion of control. You overestimate how much control you have over outcomes, especially in situations with chance involved. Psychologist Ellen Langer documented this in 1975, showing people feel more confident in lotteries when they choose their ticket. You believe your skill or willpower controls things that are actually random. This makes you overconfident in unpredictable situations, leads to risky decisions, and leaves you blaming yourself for uncontrollable failures, eroding your mental health needlessly. Fact 10. Fundamental attribution error. When someone else screws up, you blame their character. When you screw up, you blame circumstances. A person is late, and you think they're irresponsible, but when you're late, traffic was terrible. Social psychologist Lee Ross named this in 1977. You judge yourself by your situation, others by their personality. This destroys empathy, damages relationships, and makes you harshly evaluate colleagues, all while giving yourself a pass you don't deserve. Your brain just betrayed you 10 different ways, and you didn't even notice. Which of these biases hit you hardest? Drop a comment telling us which one you recognize in yourself, because self-awareness is the first step to fighting back. And if you want more science that explains why you do what you do, hit subscribe for Brainboda.